Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching today. Today's Wednesday, January 3rd, the second day of the year. So, I want to start out today. This topic is a formula for success in real estate. So, every successful business person, success in the aspect is not being like a multi-billionaire, but having success of getting to an end result. There is a formula. Example: there's a formula for, if you ever, when you fly in a plane, the pilot, they have a formula, they have steps they have to take to get the success of the flight taking off and landing safely. When the doctors, when you have surgeons, they have a step-by-step process of the tools that they need, the systems in place, the steps it takes to do another procedure to have a successful procedure. You every day to have a successful day of getting up and getting through your day and going to sleep and having a successful day. You get up, you get dressed, you shower, you eat, you go to sleep. We have a success formula. There's always steps that you have to take to be successful. You're driving a car. What do? You have steps. You get in the car, you start the car, you put it in reverse or drive, you put it in park when you stop. All right, you get what I mean. So there is a success formula for realtors. I've been to so many different seminars and coaching programs and classes and the 30 years I've been in real estate, but I'm going to give you 12 things that always consistently come up with all top producers in real estate. And they have a formula of what they do to be successful. And these 12 things I'm going to give you, if you obviously go back and rewind or stop or pause, write these down. But let me give you those. So, number one, most common thing that successful realtors and pretty much anybody's successful business is spending an hour a day on your mindset, journaling, meditating, just getting ready for your day. I always use it in the morning. I'm not the type of person, I don't jump out of bed, get ready in the car within 20 minutes, or I'm jumping up and getting to my desk. I'm not that type of person. I know I don't get it. I don't get how people say, okay, I got to be at work at 9, I'm going to get up at 8. They have a half-hour drive to work or wherever, and they get up like 10 minutes before they have to leave for the day. Or those type of people that I start work at 9, so I get there at 9. I'm like, you don't get there early and get ready and get your mindset going. So that's what I mean. Number one, getting your mindset, getting ready for the day, in meditating or whatever you think is best for you to get yourself in that good mindset. Number two, practicing your skills and learning more, taking more classes, practicing your skills with communication in your listing presentation, your buyer presentation, role playing. What are you doing to practice? Just like in sports, and I've read this several times, is that it's probably like an elite athlete is spending an hour of practice for 1 minute of actual game time. So it's like 1 hour, so if you're practicing 2 hours, it's really like for 2 minutes of playtime. So if you're only practicing when you're working with real buyers and working with real sellers, unless you're already at a certain level and you're doing it all day long, every day, you're going to get rusty. So you got to make sure. 3, contact your sphere of influence 4 times a year, every quarter. So I tell agents this: start like with, and if you don't have this, your ultimate goal is to get, in my opinion, 1,200 or more. I would say, your ultimate would be like 1,600 people on your database. 1,600 people on your database that you call, make 20 calls a day. That's 5 days a week. You're making 100 calls per week. That's 400 calls a month, and you do it every 3 or 4 months. So like that math is 1,200 people. So you make 400 calls a month. 400 January, 400 March, 400 sorry, January, February, March, 400. Then April, you start all over. Start with those first people, and then every 3 months, get on a 3 month cycle, and you'll if you have about 1,200 people minimum in your database of actual people you're calling to check in on every 3 months and trying to have a communication about those 1,200, you're gonna have hopefully about maybe about 200 or 300 of those people that you will have good conversations with. Now you have, say, you throw out 300 people that you're having good conversations with, because a lot of them are voicemails. And then if you have 300 good conversations a year with people, if 10% of those people are buying or selling, that's 30 deals a year. So it's just math. Number 5, follow up with all your leads daily. All leads. Until they say stop calling. If someone's calls on your yard sign or internet lead, or some buyer you had a conversation with and they're thinking about buying, you keep calling those active leads every day until they stop calling. They tell you to stop calling. You never give up on leads. So many times tried 3 times. That's not enough. You keep on calling and calling and calling until say stop calling me, and then maybe you slow down from there. 6, set up 5 appointments a week, 1 a day. Your job, when making these calls to your sphere, is to set up 1 appointment a day. What I mean by an appointment could be over the phone, my opinion, appointment, listing appointment, or a buyer appointment. Could be over the phone or Zoom. And what that is that you're actually spending time talking with an active person that says they are going to be buying a house now, or someone that's going, I want to sell my house now. So your goal every day is to try to make 1 good appointment with 1 serious conversation that someone's buying or selling. So when you're making those calls every day, just trying to say, I just need to get hold of 1 person that is actively going to be buying or selling very soon. So that's your ultimate goal, 1 a day. Pre-qualify all your buyers and sellers. What I mean by that, and that's number 7, is pre-qualify them. Make sure you have the right buyers. Don't just jump in your car and meet buyers out. Pre-qualify them, get them with the lender. Pre-qualify a seller. What I mean by that is just make sure if someone says, hey, come out to my house, let me know what it's worth. So many times I hear agents spending, I got this listing coming up, and then they go, and it really wasn't a listing. They just someone wanted to just pick their brain and see what their house is worth whenever they're thinking about selling. So some agents jump in their car like, I'm going out. I'm like, no, if you have the time, go ahead. But if you don't want to waste your time on people just like kicking the tires, like, I'm going to interview you, and I don't know really when I'm selling, but I'm going to know what my house is worth. And usually most agents just jump in the car, and they'll spend 3-4 hours of their time on unqualified sellers. They just want to know what their house is worth. Number 8, ask the right questions. When pre-qualifying these buyers, they'll ask the right questions. When are you looking to move? Is this a good time? If I come out to your house today and we go over my listing presentation, are you ready to list your house today or tomorrow, whenever that is? If I come out here and again you want to hire me, are you looking to sign the listing agreement tomorrow? Or what? So pre-qualify them, ask them the right questions. Especially with buyers, ask the right questions. If we find the right house for you, are you ready to sign on the dotted line right then and there? I'll have the paperwork ready. So if we go see a house, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, tomorrow, and that you love this house, are you ready right then and there? I'll have the documents ready for you to sign to submit that offer. Are you ready at that time? So you ask questions to see how motivated they are. Number 9, call all your buyers and sellers weekly. Active buyers and sellers. Sometimes you have agents that, because it's limited inventory, they're out there, they're showing houses, and they're saying, I'll contact you when a new house comes on the market, and you're just waiting. So I have so many agents out there, I got all of these buyers, but no house has been coming on the market yet, and they just lose track of some of these people because they haven't found a house yet. They should be qualifying them, and you should be following up with them weekly if you're not already talking to them on a daily basis of what's house for sale. And if you have a listing, sometimes we get lax with that. If it sits and it's not selling right away, we don't contact the sellers just to let, because sometimes there's nothing, there's really little to say, but just checking in on them. There might be only been a couple showings. Sellers get frustrated. So again, we haven't seen much of that in our market, but it's there sometimes. So make sure you are always following up with your active buyers and active sellers weekly if you're not already talking to them. 10, pricing your listings correctly. So many times, at least once a week, I'm getting an agent to ask me, hey, Tony, can you look at this listing and see what's going on with it? I've been spending a while, I want your opinion on, let me know what you say. And of course, 9 times out of 10, it's overpriced. It just is. And this, especially in this market, if something's, I always tell, I joke with our agents when I'm training, I'm like, you tell a seller, I could sell your house in 2 minutes. Like, you can sell my house in 2 minutes? I'm like, yeah, I'll put it on the market. I'm sure we'll get client right away. It depends upon the price. If you have a $500,000 house and it's really worth $500,000, you want to dump it and get a quick sale, we'll put it on the market for $350,000. People will jump at that. So there's always buyers out there. It's just what price. Number 11, contact every lead as soon as possible, within minutes. If you have listings and you have internet leads coming in or buyers calling you or whatever, you have to be available. You can't let those go. They're just going to go on another website, get to another agent, and show other property, especially if you have listings. Especially if listings, you got to get a hold of those buyers. Sometimes some listing agents, unfortunately, I hear them say, well, I really don't want to work with buyers. I just want listings, but they're not calling back all of these leads that they're getting off of that. And one other thing you can do, and we have some successful agents that just like listings and don't want to work with buyers, they're taking those leads and giving it to other agents, and they're getting referral fees. So if you have a listing and you're getting leads on them and you don't want them, call me. I'll have other agents. I'll be happy to take them on for you, and they'll pay you a referral fee on top of it. And last, only work with people you want to work with. So this is very important, because you have a relationship, and if you have a buyer or seller, it might be weeks, months, hopefully not years, of looking for a house, selling their house. And of course, we're not always going to be perfectly meshed with someone personality-wise, but work with people that you actually want to work with. Because so many times I talk to agents at least once or twice a week. I'm talking with the agent like, I can't stand this buyer anymore. What can I do? I can't stand this seller anymore. Can I get out of the listing agreement? Can I get out? I have a buyer, but am I required to keep them? Have a seller, and they're unrealistic. Their price is too high. They're asking for too much. Can I get rid of them? I don't want to work with them anymore. So try to get that feeling about the people before you get involved with them, if there's some people you want to work with, because there's some people that you just don't want to work no matter what they're buying or what they're selling, and it sometimes brings down your mindset and helping your other clients. And every realtor that's been in the business a while, especially every successful, has the horror stories of a client or more than one client that this was a horrible person that just drove me crazy and affected me personally and mentally and beat you down. And you talk to any agent, especially if you're a new agent and you haven't experienced things like this, you're going to, it's just a numbers game, get some client like this, and you got to cut them loose as soon as possible to keep your sanity and keep your positive mindset. So those are the 12 things, the formula. But I love, and I try to cut this down as low as I can. I could go on for 2-3 hours about this, and you could see the first couple that I was talking about, I went longer than normal. But please feel free to call, text me. We'll set up a time to talk and go over this. If you're texting me, please let me know what you want to do, because sometimes I have agents that are texting me throughout the day. Call me when you get a chance. I'm like, I don't know what's regarding. I need to know, is it a coaching call? Is it something you're working on now, so I could plan accordingly for you and give you the time. Like, I had an agent call me today, and I love this agent. Everything's great. But I in the conversation we were talking about, it's like a half hour, 45-minute conversation. I just didn't have it. Thought it was a quick question. Now I'm going to schedule it with them, and I want to spend the time and make sure I carve out the right amount of time to go over whatever you need. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and hope to see many of you very soon. Bye-bye.